Hello guys, welcome to MJ Real Stories channel. Today's story is one of those rare and powerful moments that remind the world why Michael Jackson was loved not just as the king of pop, but as the king of hearts. The title of today's video is "The Moment a Fan Collapsed in Front of Him, Michael's Response Was Pure Love." And believe me, this is one of the most emotional human moments ever captured in Michael's journey. It shows who he truly was when the cameras weren't focused on the fame, the glitter, or the spotlights, but on a person who needed help. The story begins during one of Michael Jackson's world tours in the late 90s. He was performing in front of tens of thousands of fans. The crowd was loud, energetic, and overflowing with love for him. People were crying, screaming, reaching out with their hands, hoping to just touch him for a second. It was that era when Michael Jackson concerts felt less like music events and more like emotional earthquakes. Fans would faint just by seeing him step on stage. His presence was powerful, overwhelming, and deeply emotional for millions around the world. On this particular night, after performing a high-energy song, Michael walked towards the edge of the stage to interact with the audience, something he often did because he loved being close to his fans. He would reach out, hold their hands, smile at them, and show appreciation for the love they were giving him. But this time, something unexpected happened, something that instantly changed the whole atmosphere. As Michael leaned forward, a young fan in the front row suddenly collapsed. Her body went weak, her hands dropped, and she fell straight down. It all happened in seconds. Security immediately moved forward, but before anyone could react, Michael noticed her falling. The music was still playing, the lights were still flashing, and tens of thousands of people were still cheering. But in that split second, Michael Jackson's entire focus locked on that one person who had collapsed right in front of him. And then came the moment that fans still talk about today. The moment that wasn't rehearsed, wasn't planned, wasn't part of the show. It was purely human. Michael stopped everything. The dancers looked around confused. The band kept playing for a moment, but Michael raised his hand subtly, signaling them to slow down. He didn't shout. He didn't panic. He simply walked to the edge of the stage with a calm, gentle urgency. His eyes followed the fan as she lay on the ground, and you could physically see the concern on his face. Security was about to lift her up roughly, as they usually do in crowded situations, but Michael stepped in immediately. He reached down with his own hands, gesturing to the guards to stop. It was rare for any superstar to intervene physically, but Michael wasn't thinking as a superstar. He was thinking as a human being who saw another human needing help. He knelt down, carefully extended his hand, and whispered something only those closest to the stage could hear. It was a soft, comforting message, something like "It's okay. I'm here." In that gentle voice he always used when speaking to children or fans who were emotional. Even in that chaotic moment, people talk about how his presence felt calming. The guards slowly helped bring the girl closer to the stage, but Michael reached forward himself and held her hand firmly. The fan was semi-conscious, overwhelmed by emotion, heat, and exhaustion. But the moment she felt Michael's hand, her fingers tightened back, as if her body found just enough strength to hold on to the person she admired her whole life. The crowd screamed even louder, this time not for a performance, but for a real moment of compassion. People were crying, waving, kneeling, and shouting Michael's name. But Michael wasn't paying attention to any of that. All his focus was on the girl who had fainted. He gently brushed her hair away from her face, checked her breathing with concern, and told the security team with a firm voice that she should be treated carefully. He didn't want her dragged or mishandled. He said, "Be gentle, please," insisting on respect and kindness even in an emergency. The girl was lifted up with care, and Michael stayed watching her until she was safely passed to the medical team. He didn't turn away, he didn't return to the choreography, and he didn't try to jump back into performance mode. He waited. He stood still, breathing slowly, almost as if he was praying for her. And then, when the girl looked back one last time as she was carried away, Michael placed his hand on his heart and nodded to her, silently saying, "You'll be okay, I'm with you." It was a pure moment. A moment of love, a moment of humanity. When the music finally restarted, Michael didn't jump straight into dancing. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and then softly whispered into the microphone, "I love you more. Please take care of yourselves." And that one sentence was enough to melt the hearts of thousands in the stadium. But the story doesn't end there. Later that night, after the concert, Michael personally asked his team about the fans' condition. This wasn't the first time he had done this, and it wouldn't be the last. He was known among his crew for constantly checking on fans who fainted during shows. Sometimes he sent them water, sometimes signed something for them, and sometimes even made sure they got medical attention if needed. In this particular case, when he heard that the girl had regained consciousness and was recovering, he sent her a message of love along with a signed note. The note said something simple but powerful. "Please stay strong. You are loved, Michael." For the girl, that message became the most treasured moment of her life. She later shared that she fainted not because of exhaustion alone, but because she had been waiting for hours to see Michael up close, and when he came near her, the emotion was too much to handle. She said the way he held her hand made her feel safe, cared for, and understood. It wasn't just about meeting a celebrity. It was about being treated with love and respect by someone she admired deeply. And that is the essence of Michael Jackson. People often talk about his music, his fame, his dance moves, his albums, and his records. But the true beauty of Michael was in his heart. His kindness wasn't an act. It wasn't for publicity. It was who he was behind the scenes every day, everywhere he went. There are countless stories like this. Fans who fainted, fans who cried, fans who lost control from excitement. And Michael always responded with gentleness. He would stop, kneel, hold their hands, offer water, call for help, and show them love. Even when he was tired, even when the pressure was too much, he still made time to take care of the people who loved him. And that's what makes this moment so special, because it wasn't part of a show. It wasn't part of a script. It was a real human reaction from a man who believed that love was the most powerful force in the world. Michael once said in an interview, "I love my fans with all my heart. They're not fans to me, they're family." And on that night, when that young girl collapsed, he proved those words completely. For him, fame didn't matter. The show didn't matter, the spotlight didn't matter. What mattered was a person who needed help, and he did what a loving, caring human being would do. He stopped everything and chose compassion. This moment became legendary, not because it was dramatic, but because it was real. A reminder that behind the superstar was a man with a soft, loving heart, a man who believed in kindness, who lived for connection, and who always tried to spread love wherever he went. So when people ask why Michael Jackson is still loved today, even years after he left this world, moments like these give the answer, because he didn't just sing about love, he lived it. Thank you for watching today's story. If you want more real, life moments that show the true heart of Michael Jackson, let me know in the comments, and remember, love is the message Michael always wanted to spread. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next story on MJ Real Stories channel.